I'm sorry, Mark, listen. I can't believe we have to say this. But because somebody in America sold this guy a gun, or because somebody in America let a assassin crawl this close to President Trump, Ukraine again has problems like this. In which part of the world does this sentence make sense to you, Mark, huh? How did we come to this? I remember making fun of the New York Times headline. I have that newspaper in print in my house where it had President Zelensky and President Trump on the cover, and there's like Ukraine meddling in American election, blah, 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 and it was like, haha, funny. And now this motherfucker somewhere in the, and it was by the way, this was a joke. I mean, Ukraine didn't do shit. Nobody tried to influence anything.
We just tried to live normal. We tried
and then now some asshole sold this guy a gun, and he went to the golf course, and fortunately Secret Service was able to stop this guy. But because of that, we now again we are at fault. I'm so tired. You have to fix your shit, America. What the is this?
I'm tired, Melania. I'm tired of this timeline.
Always. I'm always tired.
I mean, this has to end, but another day, some kind of really unfortunate event happens, and this time someone tried to assassinate Trump again.
Did we just discover the time machine? Is this a couple of months ago? Did this finally work? Am I a genius?
Remember last time when we talked about the first Trump assassination attempt? We talked about how everyone's trying to make Ukraine guilty for everything. And these people, the same people who were trying to do that last time, they have more chances to do this now, because our guy, who's alive, thanks God, and who's in custody of FBI now, he was a fan of Ukraine, let's say like that, and he tried to grift out of the Ukrainian tragedy and out to the Russian invasion of Ukraine and tried to do some stuff unsuccessfully. But nevertheless, he has a lot of photos in Kiev. He has photos with Ukrainian flags. He has recordings on Maidan Square where he staged some rally or something like that. Yeah, it's not looking good, but at the same time, this guy is mentally unstable, at least.
Probably is. We don't know. The very fact is, the big problem with this is that, again, never on this channel have we accused Ukrainians or everybody who supports Ukraine of being perfectly adequate. Unfortunately, all sorts of people join all sorts of causes, and war grifters is a not new, but relatively newly popularized term, especially when it came to Ukraine. A lot of people saw it as, this online phenomenon that they tried to join in any way, shape, or form possible. Some people lose their minds over it. Some people are legit enemy agents who want to make it look like as if they would support Ukraine, but then they actually make it worse. So we don't know. The worst part is that I'm afraid that in a couple of hours, when this all kind of calms down a bit, and communicators of Russia, pro-Russian assets, and unsympathetic, probable one of the two candidates to become a United States President, Donald Trump, will come up with a reason why President Zelensky, for instance, is personally responsible for this crazy fucking guy whose head is dyed into colors of both Ukrainian and Swedish flag. So we gotta know. This is the bigger issue here. And something to keep in mind is that we do not associate people with, causes they stand for and shitty things they do, except if they're Russians. I mean, our policy on this channel is transparently clear. We treat everybody, we give everybody a fair share of shadow of the doubt. But if you're not Russian. In this very case, obviously the position of this individual in no way, shape, or form reflects the position of Ukrainian state and Ukrainians. I mean, even though we do dislike President Trump a lot, especially, again, to Ukrainians who are hosts of this channel. Nevertheless, yeah, we do not condone this action. And if anything, if you're one of the people who thinks this is somehow will make something better for Ukraine or somehow will teach Trump a lesson or something. No, it will not. Please don't do that. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, if you're not Job who's fan of Ukraine and fan of this channel, probably there are some.
Hi.
Please don't try not to assassinate anyone.
Yeah, don't do anything stupid.
And don't
please.
try to assassinate anyone. So what happened? Trump was playing golf, of course.
I mean, of course.
Sunday morning. What else do you do on Sunday morning? So the Secret Service went to check the next hole and saw the gun in the fence. The barrel of the gun in the fence. So they started shooting there. This guy he ran away.
Again, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole, but could we please take a second? I made this when we were preparing. I made this kind of a very inappropriate joke, but hear me out. Like, only in the United States of America could you go on a golf field to check out the next hole for the president, whatever, and then you just see a barrel of a gun and then you just start shooting, and like that's it.
Yeah, that's just perfectly reasonable thing to do.
I mean, all of this could never happen in like Australia.
But kudos.
This could never. Yeah, but kudos to the Secret Service.
Yeah. Good job. This guy, he ran away alive. He was scared.
I mean, this time they at least fucking tried to protect the president, unlike the previous time where the fucking guy literally came this close to fucking Trump's face and almost shot him like point blank in the head. Like, this time at least they're like, maybe we should fucking, run around in the bushes a little bit, see who's creeping in there. Jesus fucking Christ.
So, yeah, the guy ran away. They caught him. He's in custody now. He's probably doing something in the FBI, hopefully telling them why did he decide to do that. We don't know, and it's Monday today. We don't know yet. There are no news about his motives or anything like that. But we know some of his background, which is, well, the guy is not really stable. He was trying to get as much attention as possible. He was tweeting to different world leaders all the time. He was tweeting some really weird shit. But the thing he tried to do during the last couple of years, specifically in 2022, 2023, he was doing some weird stuff. Like, he was trying to find Afghan migrants, asylum seekers in Iran, who ran from Taliban, and he was trying to recruit them to fight in the Ukrainian Foreign Legion, which nobody asked him to do, and everyone asked him stop doing this. I have so people who were having his contact. He was actually contacting a lot of people in Foreign Legion, in Ukraine, in Ukrainian army, and people were actually saying him, this is, I'm quoting, it's from the messages with him, do less, please, and please do not start telling thousands of Afghans to come to Ukraine.
Again, if somebody from Ukraine actually is, like, we're always, whining about how everybody's not doing enough. If Ukrainians telling you, please do less, you have to, take into account that we never asked that of anyone.
Yeah, but if Ukrainians do, then you really should reconsider your doings. Other people who had contacts with Ryan said that he's a liar and a grifter, and he actually tried to do some weird stuff which nobody asked. And so just to understand his, like, what person he is, this is the next messages with him. It's November 2023, I guess. I live in Hawaii on a beautiful sandy beach with beautiful girls in bikinis all day. Then the woman who's texting with him says, that's a weird thing to tell a female soldier, what the fuck?
Again, I'm sorry, a perfectly reasonable answer. What the fuck at the end of the sentence is really what brings the point fucking home. Like, what the fuck?
Then he texts, really, point is, I'm happy and not worried about Ukraine. Congress is cutting all funding now. It seems good luck. She says, "You're a jerk." And then he says, "Ukraine has chased away all foreign support. It is just the reality. Just because I'm speaking facts. Ukraine does not want help. You said it. Once China attacks Taiwan, they can give everything they have to Putin. The gates will be open and I and the world will see the end of Ukraine. ...
Perfectly sane
Perfectly
thing
sane
to say.
person. Yeah. So we've seen these grifters, and we've seen them a lot during not only this part of war, but before. Some people, especially people who have some problems in their homelands, they are coming to places where it's cheaper, where there are some conflicts, where people are vulnerable.
They can start fresh. They start fresh here. They live this new life.
fresh.
They kind of get this new identity here. Nobody knows them. It's perfectly great to actually start a new life here this way. Yes.
New York Times actually had a story in 2023 about the story called "Stolen Valor: The U.S. Volunteers in Ukraine Who Lie, Waste, and Bicker." This was exactly the stories of people like this, what I described just now, and they actually talked to Ryan. So they talked to him, and he said that he's seeking records from Afghan soldiers who fled Taliban. So he said some weird things, and the reporter back then understood that those things are weird. He said, "We can probably purchase some passport through Pakistan since it's such a corrupt country," he said in an interview from Washington. The reporter also said at that time, "It is not clear whether he succeeded, but one former Afghan soldier said he had been contacted and was interested in fighting if it meant leaving Iran, where he was living illegally, but nothing happened, essentially." And after that, today, this reporter revisited his interview with this guy because he didn't think it's important, but he said it sounded ridiculous, and it was, but the tone in Mr. Routh's voice said otherwise. He was going to back Ukraine's war effort no matter what. So this guy actually sounded not sane. He said some weird stuff. Everybody understood that. Nobody was talking to him.
And by the way, if you're looking for an authoritative figure who, actually knows what they're talking about, not just two assholes on YouTube that we are, by the way, subscribe. We actually have a person who is a veteran of Ukraine's International Legion, and stuff like that. And he actually warned about this guy for a long time. And it's easy to get confused sometimes with all these bickering and quarreling in between the same people. But at least this guy, he had some sense. I mean, at the end of the day, he was right. So there's a thread of his dating back to June 21st, 2024, where he said, warning about Ryan Routh, he's not and never has been associated with the International Legion or the Ukrainian Armed Forces at all. He is not and never has been a Legion recruiter. He is misrepresenting himself and lying to many people. Routh is currently posting on Facebook about getting Afghanistan citizens into the International Legion. He told the New York Times in 2023 that he wanted to get soldiers into Ukraine legally. Again, speaks to the quality of New York Times journalism sometimes, when they literally will interview anybody about anything and never verify their actual legitimacy. Just like this is how these grifters and these assholes actually make their way through shit. They will give a couple of interviews to a couple of authoritative sources, news media, who will actually create them, make this myth that this person is ridiculously influential and actually does something for the military. I mean, it's so easy at this point, it's ridiculous. So yeah, he has made many public Facebook posts about getting soldiers into Ukraine in 2023 and 24, but he has no authority to act on behalf of Ukraine and ignores laws about visas. Again, very important. If you are a person in Ukraine, especially from some other country, who serve in Ukrainian military, which we have a lot of these people, we're insanely grateful for these guys, but these guys know the procedure and they're, always complaining about how hard it is, how ridiculously difficult this red tape is, and it's completely understandable. I mean, everybody has to go through security and to background checks, and you have to actually apply for a visa. And again, from my personal experience, getting a Ukrainian visa is not that difficult, yet, to get a permanent residence permit, it's a completely different story. So again, this person had no idea what they were talking about. Very sketchy, very shady. We continue. King Jack Strong, the person from International Legion, says that he's either human trafficking, scamming people, or attempting to break as many countries' laws as he can by trying to smuggle people into Ukraine to fight. This is unethical, unprofessional. I mean, we're not even, I have to like stop here. It's not about like unprofessionalism. It's like, or ethics. This is like fucking illegal, crazy crap. Worse, he's doing this by insisting he's helping Ukraine. Again, these guys love to help Ukraine. Other issues. He has posted soldiers' phone numbers on websites without permission, given out recruiters' phone numbers to people without permission, manipulates people to breaking laws, avoiding any contact with as he misrepresents what he can legally do. And there are screens here. I mean, receipts are there. And this is a person who served in National Legion for 2 years. And he actually said that he actually tried to get through to this guy, and this guy would not listen. And yeah, this thread is a couple of months old.
Yeah, it's not from today.
It's not written today. It's 5-month-old thread. So this guy, I mean, I cannot verify this person, like how nice they are, or, you know, how that, you know, what kind of person they are, or anything about him. The only thing I know is he's either telling the truth about this person with receipts, or he's a fucking clairvoyant who can see the future. And so back in June 2021, of 2024, he looked somehow into the future and saw that this guy tried to assassinate Trump, and then he wrote this fucking thread. Which makes no fucking sense, obviously.
Melania,
whatever this guy is,
but what about
he
the
tells
video?
the truth.
What about the video from Azov battalion?
World leaders.
Huh?
Oh, again, the ever-existing concept of the fucking Azov battalion video. I mean, at this point, it's fucking, I'm so tired of like, well, what about Azov? We've fucking debunked this myth forever. Guess fucking what? So this guy was filmed at the Azov support rally.
The rally was in Kyiv in support of Azov battalion, which were in Mariupol back then.
Okay, guess fucking what? People come to fucking rallies. You know, good people come to rallies. Bad fucking people come to rallies. Crazy, batshit, insane people come to rallies.
I mean, like people who go to Trump rallies.
Donald Trump is the president of the 1776 president.
Yeah, I mean, have you fucking seen the fucking people who go to like, and by the way, both people who Trump wants to be there are there, but also people like our good friend Adam Mockler is also there, who does not support these policies, but yet comes there to talk to people and to actually observe this for reasons that make him a saint on earth. Anyway, the point is, people come to public events, period. And we should stop using the, look, ooh, we had a flag, ooh, we had a thing, ooh, we had a trident, and trident is a Nazi symbol because I can't read and don't know this actually Ukrainian coat of arms, and I'm fucking a reporter for Financial Times, and my name is, let's not, yeah. But the point is...
The point, if it was Azov Battalion, Ukrainian intelligence, or whatever, I promise you, they would send someone better than some...
I mean, they don't, no, look, I'm sorry. We're not into bullying on this channel, like, if you're not a Russian. And we don't engage in, like, lookism where we're, like, judge you by what you look like. But never in your right mind would Ukrainian fucking intelligence services have this fucking guy who has two of his head colored different colors. It we're like, yeah, we have all these people who want to serve in Ukrainian intelligence. They're badass and they kill Russians on Russian territory, motherfucker. But no, we're gonna take this fucking guy, send him to fucking Florida of all places, to fucking shoot Donald Trump. I mean, if anything, the only reasonable thing in this whole ordeal is that, in fact, if you were to assassinate Donald Trump, looking at a fucking golf course is the right place to fucking look, because this guy doesn't go anywhere else. So kudos to that operation preparation. The rest is fucking nonsense. Don't even get me started. See how angry I am. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, you mentioned this guy trying to break as much laws as possible. This guy actually broke some laws. So he had law issues going back to 1990s. include lesser charges of writing bad checks, but in 2002 he was charged with possession of weapon of mass destruction. What is this? Saddam Hussein? Okay. A felony. I mean, where did Bush look? Okay, anyway, the felony, according to North Carolina Department of Correction records. In another incident, he was charged with misdemeanors, including a hit-and-run offense, resisting arrest, and concealed weapons violations, the record shows.
Again, this I have to, and people on the more conservative side will yell at me or like people from NRA, how I'm a proud gun owner, you can't criticize me. Actually, Melania, I'm actually shoot things, as a sportsman for a long time. But I have to address your problem, America. Who the fuck gave this person a gun? Who the fuck did that?
Not just a gun. It was an AK-47.
Again,
out of all guns.
Show me the fucking person who gave this motherfucker a gun. I want to personally assault you because you have a problem, America, and it's not guns. It's people who give them fucking out to these kind of guys. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, like, so the problem is not his Ukrainian, I don't know, it's not affiliation. The problem here is that right now, because some nut job was able to buy a gun or get the gun and actually get to the golf course and shoot someone. Now Ukraine has problems because the Russian propaganda works really well. You know what? If you like, I mean, I understand people like conspiracies. People don't like to think of people who try to shoot politicians as some kind of nut jobs, right? They want to make it political. So let me think of it as a political act. So this nut job was trying to recruit thousands of Afghans in Iran, which he gave interviews in New York Times. He did really weird shit, and he was probably not mentally stable. And I'm pretty much sure he was on Russian intelligence radar, because you couldn't be not under Russian intelligence radar if you tried to recruit Afghans in Iran. And he had the list of 6,000 Afghans or something like that. So let me create a conspiracy here. I believe that it is somewhere in the sphere of possibility that Russian agents could actually, I don't know, make this insane guy more insane and help him with ideas of a Trump assassination or whatever. This is quite possible, and I would wait for what appears there and etc., etc. But if it were some foreign government trying to do some stuff like assassination attempts of political leaders in the United States, it's not Ukraine. It's literally anybody else. Iran, Russia, China, I don't know, you pick it. But not Ukraine.
No,
why the fuck would we need that?
No, we don't do that. Like, it's so, like, I can't believe again we have to, like, say, like, we don't have the resources. God damn it. We don't do that. Why would we do something? Why would our Secret Service do something that our livelihood, like our lives could depend on? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even do any assassinations or kidnappings in Western world, in Europe, in Canada, in the United States, where Russian ex-soldiers, war criminals are actually traveling, which is not cool. We don't even, like, Ukraine doesn't even do that. I mean, like, just for your thought. And hey, to the journalists, I mean, there's one thing. So we have a journalist, fact checker of the year today. This is the last thing I just want to mention. If you're a journalist and you watch to this point, please don't be like this guy. So this guy, let me find it. Cheyenne.
M. Night Shyamalan?
No, Cheyenne Sardarizadeh. And he can fact check me on pronunciation of his name. I'm sorry if I did it wrong. But this guy, who is actually senior journalist at BBC Verify, disinformation, conspiracy theories, verification, AI, open source investigation, extremism, Wrote some weird shit today, and this weird shit sounded like this. So he said that he said something about this guy's connection to Ukraine, and so the other Twitter user came into reply saying the recruiting connection is disputed. It may be more properly said that he pretended to recruit as a grift. See thread here. So our journalist guy replies, the New York Times interviewed him in Ukraine, and there are blog posts and pictures of him in Ukraine in 2022. Whether he was officially linked to the Ukrainian military or doing it in a personal capacity is not relevant. He was involved. How do you like that?
I have a lot of pictures in your blog posts in Ukraine, like, and stuff. Like, am I involved? I mean, I am involved, okay, to be sure. But, like, again, so this guy works for the BBC, right?
Yeah.
Dear BBC, is that a fucking standard been named after you? Like, is that a thing now? Could we please get, like, updated version of your standards? Because, like, your standards seem to be lagging behind common sense. Like, what the fuck is this?
So if I send a resume to BBC and then go and stay there near the BBC office in London with some BBC flag.
If you take a picture with a BBC like thing, yeah, in the
probably
back.
give some interviews saying that I'm trying to get as much articles as I can to BBC. They're not accepting them yet, but I'm trying. New York Times, right? So
just
we
like
don't know
shoving
if he's
them
successful.
in their, like shoving them in your like post box, forcefully.
The New York Times writes an article like, we don't know if he was successful with that or not. He tried. Actually, he looked serious about that, and then say, I'm involved. If I stalk your sister, I'm not involved with your sister.
Like,
I'm a stalker.
No. Like if this, like, going back to the BBC analogy, if you were trying to like get in the door and like say, like, please BBC take our shit, New York Times would write he's like an employee of like BBC, like literally.
Yeah. He's a BBC volunteer.
BBC reporter.
BBC intern.
Yeah.
So that's not.
That's it. That's it. Please
Thank you.
Stop doing stupid shit. Stop reporting stupid shit.
People are dying because of that. Real people, actual people are dying because of that. You don't want that. You don't want to, I don't know, hurt Ukraine. You don't want to, because it will hurt you, essentially. You don't want that. So please be careful with your headlines. Subscribe to our channel. Be careful with your tweets. Don't try to assassinate anyone. Please, let's just have a normal Monday or something.
I have to ask people not to assassinate other people. This is the level this channel is in. I love this. Anyway, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.